What is happening, everyone? Welcome to Dr. Prepper. If you are interested in getting that one and done type of pocket knife that is very well made, well built using premium materials, then stick around because I have quite a few options for you. Or if you're just interested in looking at some awesome USA made knives, definitely stick around. We got some good ones to show you. And we'll kick it off with the Spartan Harsey. These are all USA made. This one is a 2021 special edition, Douglas fir special edition. You have the fur on the front and the pocket clip. Spartan Harsey helmet there on the filler tab. Titanium frame lock on washers. You have dual titanium thumb studs for deployment and going to that beautiful blade. It is coated, it is in S45 VN, and it is a drop point with a nice swedge going to the tip. This is going to be a fantastic option for you if you're looking for a knife that's going to last you forever from a great company that will take care of you if need be. The Spartan Harsey is a fantastic option. Now, these do range from around $450 to $550 and up. The average is right around that $5 to $550 mark. And they do offer payment plans. If you're working and you know you'll have the money, or you have the money, you just kind of want to ease the burden of coughing up all the money at once, they do offer payment plans on most of the retailers that sell these, and there's no interest, so it's kind of a good deal as long as you know you can cover it. So that's going to be an option for a lot of the knives I'm going to show you, but you know, if you're interested in the knife, that is always an option, or just pay in full retail price, one time, one shot. But let's go ahead and we'll get to the next knife on the list. The Spartan Harsey is definitely a good one. Next up is going to be the ZT0562 in Thai. This is going to be a Hinderer and ZT collab. They have quite a few. Hinderer and ZT, Hinderer and Kershaw, they have quite a few collabs. And this knife stands in for pretty much any Hinderer design knife or Hinderer branded knife that you could pick up. These usually are $250 to $300, and a Hinderer branded knife is going to definitely go up from there, $500 and up usually, if not quite a bit more. This one's coming in 20 CV, a nice stainless steel, as well as the S45 it is. This is a flipper only. These are stops for the blade. Those are not thumb studs. So it's going to be a flipper only, titanium frame lock as well. Beautiful handle, very comfortable. And this is made for hard use, hard work. Fireman, I believe, was the original intention for the design, and you know, it's meant for a gloved hand or someone who has very tough hands, or both. And this will definitely get the job done. It's one of the better priced on the video on the list we have today. One of the better priced offerings, and it's definitely very well made using premium materials, and this knife will definitely last you a lifetime. The ZT0562 in titanium, definitely a fantastic knife. This one is on, I think this one is on bearings, so this will be subjected to a little bit more issues when it comes to debris getting in around the pivot. The Spartan is on washers, so that is a lot more friendly to the pivot area. Just like this Medford Midi Marauder here, this is going to be on washers as well, so very formidable when it comes to a dirty environment. This also has a coated S35 VN, not S45 like on the Spartan, but both very, very good steels. This is a Tanto blade that is coated. It looks fantastic, and that is a hell of a chunk of S35VN. You have a long well fuller for deployment. Those are also going to be blade stops, not to be confused with thumb studs. This is also a titanium frame lock, titanium clip, backspacer, and hardware. Very overbuilt, nice thick slabs of titanium, nice thick slab of steel. This thing is a beast, and these are going to range from $750 to $850 and up on the retail market. Now you might be able to find them a little lower as well, and on the secondary is always an option for these knives as well. But the Medford selection of knives is going to be a very hard one to beat when it comes to a knife that you can buy once and beat the hell out of it and it still be just fine when you're done. Something you can really trust. Medford is a great option. Let's go ahead and we'll get to the next one. Next up, we're changing it up a little bit here with the style of knife. This is the Benchmade full-size Adamas. First production run. This bad boy has a nice drop point blade coming in crew wear steel. And this thing is an absolute animal. You have this nice coated finish here. You have dual thumb studs for deployment along with a crossbar style lock. Benchmade calls it the Axis lock. G10 handles that do have some speed holes cut in there for weight relief. You have a deep carry steel rollover pocket clip on this guy that is going to be reversible. This is also on washers, so it's going to be very formidable as well in dirtier environments or environments where you might be subject to getting something in and around the pivot, whether it's debris or some sort of liquids, mud, blood, whatever. This will continue to keep running. Now, they also make a mini version of this knife, but I would go with the full-size version. They are also making it in Magna Cut, I believe, at least the minis. I think both versions are coming out in Magna Cut, though. So both would be a very good option as well. These are going to, the crew wear ones are going to run you about $280, $290, maybe even as low as $250, depending on the version and the size. $250 to $350 is like a safe average, maybe a hair under and a hair over, depending on the version and the steel. But $3 to $350 is like a safe bet for these retail price, and you're going to be getting a lifetime warranty from Benchmade. I know they are not everyone's favorite company right now, and they are not my favorite company right now. They have very extensive price hikes on their products, and you know, they're kind of playing games a little bit when it comes to some of the stuff that Benchmade is doing. But if you take all that stuff out of the equation, the price hikes didn't hurt this knife a whole hell of a lot. A little bit. It definitely did. They definitely increased over the last year or two. But for the knife that you're getting, you know, if you can get it for like a $300 price point, it's pretty good. Crew wear, crossbar lock, lifetime warranty, overbuilt. You know, it's a little overpriced still, but a very good option if you want to go with this kind of style over a frame lock style of knife. It's a little different of a flavor. Let's go ahead and we'll get to the next one. That was the Benchmade Adamas. So there's a couple Spydercos that could make this list, and a bunch of different versions, of them, different steels. Spyderco uses a lot of different steels. Some may know, some may not. But this is a standard Shaman right here, a all black standard version coming in S30V, and it is in the same family as the previous S35 and S45. S30 was around before both, I'm pretty sure. But the Spyderco Shaman here, these are made over in Colorado. Has a beautiful drop point, leaf shape style blade. This one is coated. They also come in uncoated as well. Beautiful G10 handles. This is using a compression lock, which is like a reverse liner lock in a sense. In a sense, it is very similar mechanically. It is still using a liner. It is still split there in the middle. It's just that it locks up on the backside opposed to a standard liner lock. If I have one here, let's go with this guy here. This is just a standard liner lock, not a frame lock, which is what you see here. This is your standard liner lock, so it locks with the liner of the knife and not the actual frame of the knife. This is going to be a very similar thing. Some would argue that it's not very similar for some reason, but I disagree. It is basically a reverse liner lock, and the compression lock is proven very, very strong, as well as the crossbar lock. Both are very strong. So is a frame lock. So these are all good options if you're looking for a folder that has a proven strong lock. Now, they are not invincible. You can definitely break the blade, snap the blade. A lot of these knives that have very strong locks, they usually will snap the blade before you'll ever break the lock. So keep that in mind. You shouldn't be doing something like that with a folder. But the hardest things you would do with a folding knife, the tasks that are for folding knives, these knives are going to excel at that, and they are going to be very comfortable, very well made. They are going to be USA made. They're going to be using the best materials. They're going to have the best heat treats. Everything is going to be as good as it can get within that given material and that build, and that's the way it should be. These knives are, very expensive, considering that you can get knives for $50-$60 that are pretty well made, like this Trevisa that I showed you. But those are Chinese made, and the pricing is a little different when it comes to an American made knife that is using, higher, tighter tolerances and more attention to detail. Now, you can get in the door with some U.S. companies at a lower price point, like Hogue does a fantastic job. Spyderco also does a good job for the most part. Some of their stuff's a little high. These usually are $250 around in there on an average. $250 is like a safe bet for the Shaman. Could be a little less, could be a little more, depends on where and when you get it and what version, all that sort of thing. But this thing is an absolute tank, and it will definitely hold up in the most excruciating circumstances. And this is a knife you could depend on and will last you for the rest of your life, no question about it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Keep in mind, these are not the only knives that are USA made or the only folding knives that you can get, but these are some of the better US companies making knives that are really going to hold up because of how well made they are, how overbuilt they are. Just fantastic knives that have been proven and have been around I would pick any one of these knives. I'm not sure which one I would go with. I'll have to think about that. Maybe I'll answer that in the comments here after a little bit. But don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. We'll definitely do a few more videos just like this one, going over some different USA made knives, some foreign made knives that I think would be great one and done type of folding knives, and then we can move into some other stuff as well. If you're new to the channel or you're not subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below, because we have a lot more coming up and a lot more to go over. Take it easy, guys, and I will catch you on the next video.